Megha's got details of Rahul Gandhi's application in that Surat court. What does it say?
Well, Vishnu, yes, we've been able to access the application. It's our exclusive at this moment. Just going to take you through the important points. During the day we were discussing what would be the probable grounds, Vishnu, for Rahul Gandhi to make an appeal where he's seeking a stay on his conviction. That's the important bit for them. They need the conviction to be stayed in order to for Rahul Gandhi to go back to the parliament, get his disqualification revoked. So the important bits that we've been able to pick up from his application are this. Point number 7 in that application that he has filed in the Sessions Court in Surat, Vishnu says that in a democracy, the opinion of the people is supreme and the choice of the voter is treated as the will of the people. The verdict under appeal has directly led to a situation resulting in disqualification of the appellant, which is Rahul Gandhi, as a legislator. If the operation of the judgment of conviction is not stayed, a by-election shall be held. So he is bringing up that fair by-election that can be held in Wayanad within the period stipulated, and the petitioner shall forfeit his right to represent the constituency for the remaining part of his tenure. This loss is irreparable, as even the subsequent acquittal of the applicant cannot undo the same. The issue may also be looked at from the point of view of the electorate. So that's perhaps the most important point that he's making, that there can be a re-election in that area, in that constituency, and that he may not actually be able to represent or fight or stand for that election. The point number 8, which is also very important, says it is pertinent to mention here that if the conviction of the appellant is not stayed, it will not only cause irreparable loss to the appellant but also to the state exchequer. Then the by-election would lead to an enormous burden on the state exchequer, and the same is not justified in the present case, especially because it's a case of defamation with a maximum sentence that has been awarded to the applicant. And the final point that I want to bring in here, Vishnu, it says, and it actually sort of analyzes as to why, or tries to reason as to why 2-year sentence was awarded to him. Now, in this application, Rahul Gandhi says that the learned trial court judge has substantially based his findings on the fact that the appellant is a member of the parliament. Even while deciding the merits of the case, the learned judge inferred that being a member of the parliament, the appellant would have known the effects of the words allegedly used by him. At the stage of awarding sentence, the applicant was chosen for the harshest possible sentence, predominantly because he was at the time of the occurrence a member of parliament. Further, as a parliamentarian, he had to be dealt with sternly to give full deterrent effect to the provisions concerning to defamation. Since the learned trial judge was overwhelmingly influenced by the status of the applicant as a member of parliament, he certainly presumed that the award of maximum sentence of 2 years would entail disqualification as a member of parliament. It therefore appears reasonable to argue that the applicant was really sentenced in a manner so as to attract the order of the disqualification. So the reason, their own reasoning here is that he was given 2 years of sentencing with an intention to, ensure that he would get disqualified from the parliament, because that is the operative part. 2 years of sentence and more, you get automatically disqualified, Vishnu.
I think what the argument over here, and this is the argument of Rahul Gandhi's lawyers and courts, is very, very significant. What they're trying to basically argue is that the trial court judge had based the initial verdict, which was conviction of Rahul Gandhi for defamation for a period of 2 years, on his status as an MP. And while this doesn't say so in those many words, I think the argument is, should his status as an MP necessarily attract the maximum term of 2 years, and is that fair? That's my reading of these 2 or 3 really important parts of what you said. I think that's an interesting point, because I suspect that's a line of argument which the Congress would also bring up at a later stage. And I think it's an interesting line of argument. He's an MP. Does him being an MP necessarily mean that he should be given the maximum term of 2 years? And then presumably the argument would be, let's take a look at what exactly he said, and this is what he said.
Vishnu, in fact, if you
an interesting
remember,
line,
at the time of awarding this sentence, there were 2-3 information that had come out of the courtroom because there were no media persons inside. We were relying on the versions that we got from the lawyers. And the lawyers told us, spoke to the media, and they said that he was given a chance to say sorry. So he was asked again whether he would apologize or not. And the judge had said that it would set a wrong impression or give out a wrong impression because his status in the society needs to be considered at the time when the sentence was being awarded to him. So, all of that was being considered, which has been highlighted here now in his application as well. It's the same point that he did consider, or he did make that point, the court, that he was holding a very important position as a member of parliament, as a legislator, and that had to be kept in mind at a time when sentencing was happening, and perhaps one of the reasons why the maximum
interesting
sentence
point
was
that you
awarded
just
to him.
mentioned, he refused to say sorry again.
Yes, he refused.
Is that what you're hearing?
Now, Vishnu, I don't have a confirmation on that.
No, but it's an important point, and I'll tell you why. Because there is one line of thinking, Megha, that had he said sorry earlier on, then all of this wouldn't have happened.
Perhaps, yes, but I'm not sure whether he was given a chance to say sorry again, because that time is long gone now. He's already been convicted, he's been sentenced, so that opportunity is over.
Thanks, Megha, very much for sharing those details with us. Thanks very much indeed.